Hello everyone, welcome back. So Kotlin just released a blog post saying present and future of Kotlin for web. So let's go through the blog post. So the TLDR is we remain committed to empowering Kotlin developers with robust and seamless support in Kotlin multi-platform for web development. To achieve this, we are working on several key areas: improving IDE support for web targets, promoting Kotlin Wasm and Compose multi-platform for web to beta, providing a compatibility mode for Compose multi-platform in all browsers, eliminating most limitations of interop in Kotlin JS, targeting the latest JavaScript standard in Kotlin JS. Kotlin multi-platform aims to help developers share code across different platforms, significantly reducing development time and effort. The web plays a crucial role in this ecosystem, being the most widely used client-side platform. While we haven't published an update in a while, a lot has been happening, and now we are ready to share the latest development. Current landscape: JavaScript and Wasm. Kotlin multi-platform is a production-ready technology that targets many platforms via 4 compiler backends: Kotlin JVM, Kotlin JS, Kotlin Native, and Kotlin Wasm. When it comes to the web, KMP offers 2 different solutions: compiling to JavaScript, Kotlin JS, and WebAssembly, Kotlin Wasm. Let us explain why we have both of them. Why to web target? Kotlin multi-platform provides a unique approach for sharing code and is built around flexibility. Depending on your project needs, you might want to share only the business logic and keep the UI native. Share both the business logic and UI across all platforms. These two cases have different technical requirements, and JS and Wasm targets serve them accordingly. Sharing business logic: if your goal is to share business logic on the web, you may have a few requirements, like the ability to provide a complex business logic to the native UI, which is predominantly based on JS. Load only the required business logic for a specific web page to reduce network load. Interact between JavaScript and Kotlin parts without extra performance cost. In this case, Kotlin JS is the better fit because it provides a better interop perform experience, sharing both logic and UI. If you want to share the entire application including the UI across platform, this is where Compose multi-platform comes into play. With it, your requirements for web rendering and performance naturally change. You want the same UI rendered consistently on every platform including the web. Smooth animation and responsive transitions become critical. Here Kotlin Wasm shines. According to our benchmark, WebAssembly performs much better, almost 3 times faster in the UI sharing scenario. See our detailed recommendation on which target to choose for your application. What updates are coming soon? In the sections that follow, we'll walk you through the most important updates and initiatives, from IDE tooling and interoperability improvements to the evolution of Compose multi-platform for web. Let's take a closer look at those areas. Better IDE support for web target. As part of our broader effort to provide an excellent Kotlin multi-platform developer experience, we are actively working on better KMP support in IntelliJ IDE and Android Studio. This also includes improving the experience for JavaScript and Wasm targets. While code functionality is available in both IDEs, certain features like debugging of JavaScript and Wasm targets are currently available only in IntelliJ IDEA. We have started this journey by taking the following step: adding a wizard for creating a new KMP project targeting web platform, integrating a platform debugger to debug your KMP projects on both web targets easily, adding gutter icons for application entry points and tests to run them easily without thinking about which Gradle task you should use, promoting our Wasm target and Compose multi-platform for web to beta. We understand that web is an important platform for many Compose multi-platform users, and we are committed to enhancing the development experience for those targeting it. Continued improvements in Compose multi-platform for web since moving to alpha. Compose multi-platform for web has received major updates, reducing the feature gaps with other platforms. For example, text input handling was significantly improved, especially on mobile devices. The next big things we are working on are accessibility and interoperability with native HTML elements. Kotlin Wasm now in all modern versions of major browser. WebAssembly has also matured. As of December level 2024, all major browsers including Safari support WebAssembly garbage collection. This means Kotlin Wasm application can now run across all modern major browsers, improving the Wasm developer experience. Over the last few years, improving the development experience for Wasm target has been our top priority. To that end, we have introduced incremental compilation, making builds up to twice as fast, enhanced debugging support for browser, providing better stepping functionality, and an improved variable view. In the next few months, we will focus more on enhancing stability to make targeting WASM in KMP projects as smooth as possible and reduce breaking changes in the future. Overall, we aim to make both technologies feature complete as close as possible and promote them to beta this year, providing a compatibility mode for Compose multi-platform. As we already mentioned, we recommend targeting WASM when you want an application with a multi-platform UI. However, there are some limitations to consider. The WASM target relies on browser support for WASM GC, which may cause Kotlin application targeting WASM to be incompatible with older browsers that lack this support. To address this, we are introducing a compatibility mode in Compose multi-platform. With a new common source set called web main, you will now have a single source for the actual declaration for both JavaScript and WASM target. Using a special DSL in the CMP Gradle plugin, your application will be compiled to run the WASM version of the app in modern browsers, taking full advantage of the WASM's target performance. For older browsers, the JavaScript version will run automatically, preventing a blank screen and maintaining usability. Compose multi-platform still relies on WebAssembly on the rendering engine side. However, this part uses WebAssembly features that have been available in all major browsers since 2017, eliminate most of the limitations of interop in Kotlin JS. Today's approach to interop with JavaScript in Kotlin is based on the experimental @JS export annotation, which has constraints that make it challenging to use in enterprise application. We are working on removing those limitations to provide a more seamless interop experience with JavaScript. Once this work is complete, you can mark the majority of Kotlin declaration with @JS export annotation, which will be stabilized. For cases where you can't mark a declaration with this annotation, like when you don't own sources of the used library but still want to export some declaration from there to JavaScript, there will be DSL inside the multi-platform Gradle plugin, which helps to export all the needed declaration from those library. Targeting the latest JavaScript standard in Kotlin JS, historically the only available KMP JS target was ES5, which is now quite outdated. For the last 2 years, we have worked on introducing experimental support for compiling with modern JavaScript features like classes, generators, and arrow functions. This new support reduces bundle size and improves performance in some cases, which is why we aim to stabilize it and add more modern features like big int and dynamic import. We aim to target only the latest version of the JavaScript specification, thereby achieving even further reduction in bundle size and performance improvements. If you need to target older browser, we are integrating Babel inside our Gradle plugin. It will lower the generated JavaScript for compatibility with older browsers, so you still have the same range of platform support. The road ahead for Kotlin for web. These aren't the only improvements planned for Kotlin's web target. Several important initiatives are already underway. Here's what coming next. Multi-threading support in the WASM target. To take advantage of modern multi-core processor and provide the best performance, we are going to prototype multi-threading support for Kotlin WASM compiler. Our goal is to make multi-threaded development on the web as easy as it is on the JVM, elevating development of high-performance web application to a new level. Pre-module compilation in the WASM target to improve development around trip time and program modularity. We are working on generating multiple WebAssembly modules. This approach complements the recently introduced incremental compilation by allowing the recompilation of only the changed Kotlin modules. It also enables loading program parts on demand, which can significantly improve application startup time and reduce network load. In addition, it is a building block for supporting plugin systems in Kotlin application targeting WASM, modern JavaScript tooling integration. To speed up the compilation cycle, we want to add an alternative to Webpack integration we have today inside the Gradle plugin. We aim to decouple the Webpack integration to enable integration with any modern JavaScript bundler like ESBuild, Repack, Vite, or Bun. Automatic generation of Kotlin wrappers from TypeScript typing to remove the frustration of writing Kotlin wrappers to consume a JavaScript TypeScript library, we come back to the integration of an automatic external declaration generator for multi-platform Gradle plugin. For each npm dependency declared in your project, you will automatically get ready to consume Kotlin declaration describing the available API from the library. Final thoughts: thanks to recent surveys, you track tickets, questions and suggestions from across our channels, we have gathered a wealth of valuable feedback and build a clear direction for Kotlin on the web. We couldn't have done without you. And if you want to share more feedback, you can join the Slack community. You can just find specific channels on various topics like WebAssembly, Compose Web, JavaScript and multi-platform. We appreciate all your support and we are committed to providing you with a great experience as you build with Kotlin across platforms. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.